right now, trying to
All
anyway.
right, kindergarten, we're going to get ready for math. If you're at home, we are going to be using a ruler today. So you will want to have that out so that way you can participate with us. This will also be recorded and posted to YouTube later. All right, I want you to hold up your ruler for me that you have. All right. We are going to use this ruler today. What do we use a ruler for? You can put your rulers back down on your table. What do we use rulers for? Journey. We can use them for drawing lines. Are we going to use a ruler for drawing straight lines or curvy lines? Hey, Amira, glad you're here and you logged in today. We're using it for straight lines. We cannot use this for drawing circles or ovals. That's not going to work. But we can use this for drawing straight lines. What else can you use a ruler for? Matthew.
Andrew, sit down with the plate. Can you throw it away?
Yep, make lines straight. I want you to look at these numbers. How do we use the numbers on a ruler? Hazel, how do we use the numbers? You count numbers. Yep. I'm looking for a little more information. Addison, how do we use numbers on a ruler? Yes, it helps us measure things. So if I told you I wanted you to draw a straight line that was 3 inches long, we can make a line starting at 0 and stopping at 3. Now, I want you to look at your ruler. There are 2 sides to your ruler. There are numbers that are really close to each other that are called centimeters. And then if you turn your ruler the other way, you'll see numbers that are spaced out further. There are 2 different units of measurements that you can measure lines with. These numbers that are a little bit further spaced apart, this is called the inches sign, okay? This is what we're going to be using today. We're not going to use the part of our ruler that has the little tiny numbers all closely packed together. We're going to use the bigger unit of measurement called the inches. So in your packet at home or here at school, you have this paper. Now, when we measure things, Leah, we have to measure it in a precise way. We have to measure it the same way so that our measurements are accurate. They're right. So I want you to look up here. Your pencils are parked. Your rulers are parked. All right. Now, here is number 1. When I measure this line, Haja, I can't put my ruler down any way that I want. I can't start at the 12, if you see that down here, that number on my ruler. And you can't start it at a 9 or a 7 or in the middle between 2 numbers. We have to start at the 0 side, all right? So I am going to use the 0 side as my starting point, all right? So I want you to take your ruler and match your ruler up with me. I want yours to look the same way as mine. It's going to have the 0 right underneath the end point at the beginning of that line, okay? You have to find the 0 side so that way you can make it match up with mine. I will come look in just a minute.
I got it.
Okay, I want you to just lay your ruler next to that dot so I can see that you've got it lined up on that 0. We're on line number 1, Josh. We're on the big side, Josh. You're on the little side with the centimeters. I said we're using the big numbers that are spaced further apart with your 0 by the end point for number 1. All right. Good job, Perry. Good job, Delilah. Good job, Antonia. You got it, Kaylee. Good job, Matthew. Leah, we're not lined up right. You have to put your 0 by the end point. You have a 3 by the end point. We're putting the 0 right underneath that dot. See how that works? Okay. And Madison has it. Hayden's got a little bit of adjustment to do. You gotta put your 0. Oh, you're not on the right side. So you're not even on the right side. So turn your ruler over. Your numbers are backwards, so flip it again. And then you're gonna put it so that your 0 is right underneath the dot of your number. Like we just got done saying, underneath it. Don't move it, Hayden. Good job, Savannah, except your 0 isn't quite under that endpoint, so you've got to fix it so that it's there on the table. Okay, that later, we're doing the measuring right now. Here comes the list part. There we go. All right, now, kindergarten, I am going to ask you a question. I want you to look at where this end point is. See right here, this end point? That's the ending and the finishing part of our line. What number is underneath that dot? Look at your ruler, don't bump it. What number is underneath that dot, that second end point?
No, you're not listening. That's the problem. The ruler underneath the dot, the 0 has to be right underneath that dot. Yours is not there. Where is the number underneath the second dot? What number do you see closest to it? No, honey, that's the end point. What number is underneath it? Journey. Here's an endpoint. What number is underneath it? Below it.
All right, kindergarten, what number is underneath this endpoint right here? I love the strong silent hands. Mikaylee, what number is underneath this endpoint? What number is underneath this endpoint? Matthew? 2. On your line, I want you to write a 2. And we don't say it's 2. We say 2 inches. So say that with me. 2 inches. Dallas, glad you're logged in. We are working through our packet. We are measuring with a ruler. So you had a ruler sent home with you. You can also find another ruler at your house if you have one. So take your pencil and we're going to write a 2 on this line. Say 2 inches.
2.
All right, now look at number 2. We're going to do the same thing. Mr. Porter, that's a really good spot to be frequently checking back to. We're struggling right now.
Okay.
Number 2, put your 0 right here on this end point. Mikaylee, use your ruler now, slide it down, and you're going to put the 0 right underneath that end point. You have to use your ruler. You have to use 2 hands. You have to be carefully positioning the ruler so that it's underneath the end point, underneath the line, below the line, and look at where that end point is. What number do you see underneath it? Savannah, what number do you see underneath that end point?
Hands up, tell her. Okay, here we go.
If you agree with Savannah, say yes, I do.
Yes, I
Okay, but we have to give the measurement. This line is 5
inches.
5 inches long. Put a 5 on this line. 5 inches long.
All right.
That's for number 2. So make sure you're on the number 2 spot.
Wait a minute. Stop.
And you just wrote it on the number 3 line. You need to pay attention. We're on the number 2 line.
Number 2.
All right. Now we're going to measure the number 3 line. So slide your ruler down. Your 0 is on the first end point. Your ruler is on the 0. Your 0 is your starting point. So you have to have a 0 by the first dot. If you start at a 1, your measurement is going to be off. It has to start at the 0, Mikaylee. Okay? Do you have your ruler with the 0 by the starting point?
Yes.
What do you have here?
You have to have it at the 0, Mikaylee. You have it at the 1. It can't start at the 1. It has to start at the 0. The 0 has to be underneath the dot. We're on line number 3, so put your ruler, you put your pencil down, use 2 hands to make your ruler straight. Your ruler is crooked right now. Put the 0 under the dot. What number is closest to the dot? Leah, what
Okay.
What number is closest to that end dot for number 3?
4.
That's what goes there.
4. Show me. Here's your 0.
Put your name up
And
there.
3.
if you agree with Leah, say, yes, I do.
Yes.
How would we say this correctly? If I say, how long is this line? What would we say? We can't just say 3. Kaden, we say 3
What is that?
3 inches long. Good. Put a 3 on that line for number 3. All right, slide down to number 4. Now look at this line. This line is a diagonal line. It's still a straight line though. We can still use our ruler to measure. Mikaylee, your 0 is right underneath your end point. The 0 is right underneath your end point. You have to be really careful and don't bump it so it's lined up perfectly. How long is this line for number 4? Perry,
It is 4 inches long.
4 inches long. If you agree with Perry, say, yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Put a 4 on this line. We have one more line to do before we jump into our worksheet. This is our longest line yet. Put your 0 underneath the dot. The 0 is right underneath that first end point. Make sure the 1 is not there. It's the 0, Mikaylee. Is the 0 underneath the dot? Perfect. It works well to use 2 hands to carefully shift and move your ruler. I have 2 hands on mine.
What is that?
It works better than 1 because if you're holding your pencil, sometimes it gets crooked and off. So 2 hands, put your ruler right on the dot. How long is this line? Mikaylee.
7 inches long.
Yay! If you agree with Mikaylee, say, yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Did we measure to the nearest inch to meet our student-friendly learning target? Did we measure to the nearest inch? Yes, we did. Say, we rocked it, Mrs. Strong.
We rocked it.
Put your name on the paper.
Right. It is 7 inches long. You can get out your worksheet that you started this morning.
Okay.
Anna J. Dallas Payton, we did the first 2 rows of the fact sheet, so you don't need to do the whole thing. Just do the first and the second row of that. I'm going to pull up our math paper so that way you can work on writing the date and completing that with us.
Teacher. 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 Teacher.
I need your math paper out on your table. I'm gonna use the ruler like we have been using it to draw my line segment to write my name. Now look at this. This line segment needs to be 3 inches long. We didn't do this yesterday, so if you just drew a regular line segment this morning, that's okay. Tomorrow, though, you need to look at the instructions. Underneath it says, draw a 3-inch line segment. So when we draw a line segment, it's the same way as when we were measuring. We're gonna put the 0 on the end point, and we're gonna draw a line until we get to the number 3. And then we will stop. There is my 3-inch line segment. So tomorrow, Alea, our line segment is not going to go super long and it's not going to be super short. It has to be 3 inches long. And then my name goes on the top. Can someone tell me what the date is for the second line at the top here? Matthew. Read it off your paper.
Take it all the way down to the bottom line.
April,
Yep.
April 15th, 2021.
Good job. 2021. What is the day of the week that has a capital letter at it? On the front of it. Kaylee. Honey, what's our day of the week? Thursday. THURSDAY. All right, everybody, we're going to do our tally marks. How many tally marks are we going to do in this box? Journey. 15. When we make tally marks, we have 4 that are up and down, and then we do our diagonal. Make sure your pencil's ready. 4 tally marks. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, diagonal, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, diagonal, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, diagonal, 15. Give me a thumbs up when you have 15 tally marks in your box. I love those silent signals. Slow enough. You have 10. Now you need to do the last group. A new space. 11, 12, 13, 14, diagonal, 15. No, we're not continuing to do more. We're only doing 15 on there because that's our number right there. We've got to slow down. Who can tell me what number we're going to trace and write for number 1? What number is that? 8 and an 8 says, Kaden? 88. Good. We're going to trace and write that. Okay, make an S and close the gate. That's how you write the number 8. Go slow. Stretch the numbers so they're touching the top black line and the bottom black line. Leah, Matthew, take a ticket. You guys are doing way too much talking right now. How many digits are on the line? We're not saying how many times did you write 88. We're saying how many individual numbers did you write on that line? And tonight, count them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Good. So write another 8 on the line, please. Look at number 2 now. We're going to do a story problem. It says Gary had 2 number cards. with the numbers 13 and 25 written on them. Tom gave him 3 more number cards with the numbers 42, 16, and 21. Draw a picture and write a number sentence to show how many number cards Gary has now. Okay, so they gave us a lot of information and a lot of numbers. Do we need to know what numbers are on those number cards?
No.
No. Are they asking us to put them in order? No. No. They're asking how many does he have now? So listen again. Gary had 2 number cards. What shape could we use to draw a card? Kaylee.
Rectangle.
Sure. Draw a rectangle. 2 number cards. What do we do to show that there's a second group of cards coming into play that we're going to be putting them together? Kaja,
A line.
a vertical line. Draw that. Then it says his friend Tom gave him 3 more cards. So how many cards are we going to draw on the right side of the line? Alea, 3. Good. Draw 3 more cards. 3 more rectangles. Now we need to write out our number sentence. I'm going to slide this up. I want somebody to come tell me what the first number is, and you're going to write it on the line for us. You can stand up on the little bench there and write that for me. Savannah, how many were in the first group?
2.
2. Come right at 2 on the number line. What math symbol are we going to draw next after Savannah writes a 2 to show that we're adding some groups together? Addison,
A plus sign.
a plus sign. I want you to come write the plus sign for us. How many were in the second group? Alea,
3.
3. Come write a 3. What is our math symbol we need to write next to show my math sentence almost done? Here's my happy dance. Journey.
Equal.
Equals. Come write the equal sign. You should be writing this on your paper, Leah. If we're writing it, you should be writing it. Okay? Leah, your paper needs to be on your table. Last morning. You need to be writing 2 plus 3 equals on your number line. Can somebody tell me the answer to this? 2 number cards plus 3 number cards equals how many does he have all together? Perry, thanks for your silent hand.
4.
Can you count that for me, please, on your paper?
1, 2, 3, 5.
5. Can you put a 5 up on the number line for us, please? The sentence is complete now. Don't forget to put your 5 underneath on the line next to the question mark, Alea. It says, how many cards does Gary have now? The answer is 5. Good work. Now it says we need to put the number cards in order. Remember, we didn't need that information at the beginning, but now we do. So look up here. I want you to take your pencil and I want you to circle the numbers that you see. 13, we're going to circle, Alea. And 25, we're going to circle.
Is it right here?
Look up here, Alea, where I'm circling.
Yes.
Look up here where I'm circling those numbers. 42, we're going to circle. 16, we're going to circle. And 21, we're going to circle. You should have 5 numbers circled in that story problem from number 2. Look at those numbers. Which number is the smallest? 13, 25, 42, 16, or 21? You can look at the number that's in the tens place first, and then look at the number that's in the one spot. Josh, what's our smallest number?
21.
I respectfully disagree. There is a number that is smaller. Look at the number that's in the tens spot, the number that's out front. Delilah, what's our smallest number?
15.
Say it again.
15.
15 is not a number that we have circled.
I
We have 13, we have 16, but we do not have 15.
It's 13.
Kaden, what number is smallest?
13.
13. Because Delilah, look right here. Delilah, look right here. Honey, look right here. There are crayons. Here, Kaden. 13 is right here. Is there a 25 before it? Or a 42? And 16 is right here. So we have 13, 14, 15, 16. So we're going to put a 13 in this first box. Put a 13 in the first box. That's our smallest, the least. I'm going to cross off the 13 in the story problem to show that I'm done with that number. I've used it. Journey, do you have 13 in your box? Perfect. What number comes next? We have 4 options. 25, 42, Alea, 16, or 21. Kaja.
16.
16. A 1 and a 6 says 16. We know 16 is bigger. Yep, it's got the bananas over there. It has the 6 in the 1 spot. Now cross off the 16 in your story problem. We're done using that one. Yep, and write 16 in your box. All right, we have 3 left. What number is the next biggest number? We have 25, 42, or 21. I have 21 up there. I have 25 up there. 42 would be way over here. If it wrapped all the way around, it would be probably over by like Golly.
Golly.
What number comes next? Kylie, what number comes next? 21 or 25?
51.
Honey, look over here. See it again. Not 50. Honey, not 55. You have 2 options. 21 or 25.
51.
Somebody tell me what number is next.
I know.
Kaylee. Leah.
25.
21. Yes, 21. Because Alea, 5 is bigger than 1. 5 cookies is more than 1 cookie. So we can't have 5 come first and then the 1. We have to start with 1, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 is how we start counting. Cross off 21 in your story problem. What number is going to come next then? 25 or 42? We have 2 choices left. Journey.
52.
52 is not an option. We have 25 or 42.
42.
Whew. Haja.
25.
25. Yes, everybody look at Mr. Porter. He can show you on our hundreds chart. 25 and then 42. We can't have the 40s in the rows with the 20s. We have to do the 2s, and then there would be a 3, and then the 4s. So the last one is 42. All right, so finish putting those numbers on those cards, please.
You gotta post on 42.
Yep, you can cross out 25 and 42. Just give me a silent signal. I just need a silent signal. Thank you. Look at number 4. We did this yesterday with our congruent shapes. Okay? Congruent means same size and same shape. We can't have a big circle and a little circle. And we can't compare a triangle with a square. They have to be the same. Number 4 says draw a congruent shape on the geo board, on that dot paper. Trace each side using a different color. How many sides does this shape have? So first of all, it says we need to trace this shape with 4 different crayons. So you need to get your crayons out because we have to do 4 different colors.
4 different colors.
You can pick which colors you want to use. We need 4 of them.
So I went blue.
Okay, thumbs up.
Purple. Blue.
Tasha, voice off. All right, here we go. I want you to find, Matthew, your first crayon. I want you to trace the short side of this rectangle. I want you to count how many dots you touch with that red or purple or green or blue pen, whatever color you chose. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 dots tall. Now we're going to pick a new color, Josh, and we're going to trace how wide this is.
Stay on.
Happening with your calendar and with your number cards. You need to focus on one color and going down.
All right, let's take our second color. We're going to count how many dots we cross as we are drawing our line horizontally, the wide direction. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is 5 dots wide. Okay, find your third color and go back up. So third side. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 dots tall on the other side. And then find your fourth and final color to close up your rectangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 dots wide. It says we need to now draw this same shape over on the dot paper on the right. Can I have somebody please come draw this shape for me? It is 4 dots long and 5 dots wide. Josh, you think you can handle it? You're up to the challenge? All right, go for it. I want you to draw your congruent shape on your dot paper over here. Can you please take a ticket? You're doing so much blurting and interrupting. It's really a problem right now. 4 dots long or down and 5 dots wide. Good. Now go back up and close it in. Can somebody tell me how many sides does this shape have? Kaylee. 4. We're going to put that number 4, Savannah, on the line here. 4 sides. Great job. What is that shape called if it has 2 short sides and 2 long sides? Looks like a shoebox, or it looks like a cereal box, or a door, depending on how you flip it. Journey, what's that shape called, honey? 4 sides, but it's too skinny and too long.
Square.
It is not a square. A square has 4 equal sides. You're thinking in the right area. We just need to stretch it out so it's got 2 long sides instead of 4 equal sides. Matthew, Kaden, take a ticket. Savannah, what's the name of that shape?
Triangle.
No, a triangle has 3 sides. It looks like a party hat or it looks like an ice cream cone. What is the shape that's 2 long sides and 2 short sides? Delilah, we just had somebody say square and we said it's not a square. Raise your hand if you know what's that shape. Looks like a door, looks like a shoebox, looks like a cereal box. Kaja, what is that called?
4.
4 is a number. It's not the name of a shape. What's the name of a shape? It starts with an R. Harry.
Rectangle.
Rectangle. You just drew a congruent rectangle over on the dot paper. 5K, we have some mystery numbers to do. It says mystery number plus 2 equals 10. Find the 2 on your number line. Find the 2 on your number line. We need to count our hops to 10. 10 is circled up here on my number line. Ready? Count your hops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What is the answer to something? 2 plus something equals 10. Josh? 8. Good. Put an 8 in that mystery number box. Ready? 1 plus mystery number equals 10. Put your finger on the 1 of your number line. Mikali, put your 1 on the number line. Ready? Let's count our hops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many hops? Kaden? 9. Good. And the last one. Something plus 4 equals 10. Put your finger on the 4. You can either participate or take another ticket. Sitting there and pouting is not working. Tell me what your mystery number is. What's the mystery number? Plus 4 equals 10. Josh?
10.
Ooh.
No, 6.
6 it is. 6 plus 4 equals 10 again. Good. Now we need to add 10 to our number. Can I have somebody go find 41 on our hundreds chart in our calendar area, please? Leah, go find 41. When we add 10 to a number, we take our finger and we drop straight down. So Leah, use the pointer if you need to. Find the 41. Now, Leah, you're going to take your pointer and you're going to go straight down like you're going towards the floor. You're not going to go across. You're going to go down to the ground. Drop down. Leah, what? One spot. Go just to the square underneath it. That. Leah, what is 41 plus 10? What number did you touch? 5 and a 1 says,
41.
that's the number you touched, but now you're on a new number. What's the name of that new number? 5 and a 1 says,
51.
Josh, what's that number?
51.
51. Leah, say 51.
51.
Put 51 in the box, please. I need somebody to find 87. 8 and a 7 says 87. Matthew, go find 87, please. You're going to look for the row that has the 8s in the 10 spot. 8 and a 7. Good. Matthew, drop down. 87 plus 10 equals what number?
97.
97. Good. Write 97 in the line or in that box. 9 and a 7 says 97. Now we're going to do 19. 1 and a 9 says 19. Delilah, go for it. Look for all those teen numbers. They come after 10. 19, drop down one row. 2 and a 9 says,
29.
good girl, 29. That is 10 more than 19. Get your pencil. You need to be writing the next number in your box. All right, I'm gonna move our paper up a little bit. I would like somebody to come solve the first math problem, and then someone to solve the second math problem and the third problem. Now here's what we're gonna do. Remember, you're gonna start with the numbers in the pennies, in the ones place value. Then you're gonna slide to the numbers that are in the 10 spot with the dimes. Haley, solve the first problem. Kaden, solve the second problem. Savannah, you can try the third problem. It doesn't matter what colored marker. You're gonna have to get close. Savannah, you're doing the third math problem. And Kaden, you're in the middle. So yours is right here, buddy. You have to, and Kaylee's gonna scooch way over. Don't forget your cent symbol. I want you to solve that at your math table, and then we're gonna check to make sure that our answers match. Mikaylee, you can start by finding the number on your number line, and then you can check your work. Kaden, don't forget your cent symbol. Yep, we're just gonna wait. Savannah, you're gonna start in the pennies place value.
No, 2 and 0 is what?
2.
Okay.
Start with that. 7 plus 0, that's your pennies, that's your ones place value.
I know it's not. What is this here? 6 and a 1. And the 1, 6.
Now do the ones. 1 plus 1 more equals,
What is this here?
if you have 1 and you get 1 more, how many do you have? You can't have the same number.
It's
Savannah, come take the pointer. I'll take this. Find the 1 over here. Touch the 1. You need to hop 1 more spot. What number is that? What number is that, honey? 2. So put that there with your cent sign. Okay. Your name should be on your paper. Okay. And you've got your cent sign. All right, so thank you for Anna J. Dallas for tuning in. I will see you at 12:05 for reading. Have a good lunch.
Hi, Peyton.